Oh, I remember, I think I fell into a commercial. Uh, how do you say? A commercial of a company. I won't, I won't say everything detail because it's not me too. Okay, who was selling an application using, I think, artificial intelligence for students in high school, maybe, who could have answers of their homework easy and fast. This is very worrying. And worrying me. This is so you make homework of kids easy. I don't say that it has to be difficult anyway, but I don't know if it's the good thing, okay, to teach students to have fast answer even without having to use their brain. We know that brain, in my humble memory of what I read, maybe I'm wrong, you can always make any comment on that. I know that brain is a muscle. So every muscle needs to have exercise. Why, when someone is a, sorry, Lord, a vegetable condition, they do everything so that the brain can function normally. And you who is healthy, who are healthy, sorry, they want you not to use your brain anymore. It's scaring me. It scares me a lot. It it worries me a lot because, okay, like I say, the condition in school in my country, in Africa, in my country, really are not good. Okay, but the education program in my country are really good. In Africa in general, we have good program at school, good program. Okay, in high school we have to study many. I think you know what I mean. Discipline, like you have to study. For example, you have to study French, the grammar of this we speak about is the academic, okay? English, a third language for you can choose me, I chose Spanish. You have to study mathematics, you have algebra in high school, algebra, you have all this geometry, all this. Now you have biology and geology. You have to study as well for those who are in the branch of economics. You have to learn the principle of economy in our high school. Then you have the other class that history and geography. Okay, so we study all that. Yes, the brain is already used to do that. What I understand, my humble understanding, seriously, is the brain function in a way. People have been saying to be careful about the use of artificial intelligence. How can I understand that if you work in the business and you need to do something fast and you are so busy, yet you can use artificial intelligence, but they want to use it for everything, even in the justice court. They want to use artificial intelligence. This is extremely dangerous. Artificial intelligence, you use it everywhere, so it's a robot basically doing stuff for human. We are more and more in situation that is not good in this sense. Okay, so we in school we have to learn. So the brain gets used. We also study philosophy. I forgot. We study also philosophy. So all this, you have all these classes, and all these classes you will find them at high school diploma exam. All of this you find them there. Okay, and you also have physics, science, physics, physical science, science, chemistry. Yeah, we study that in high school since the beginning. So when you see all that, we learn to the word master our brain. So for us in Africa, for example, we are taught by professor or teachers to think even at home when you have homework. You come at home, you have a homework, especially in mathematics or chemistry and physics, you have to do that usually. Even in French, in other classroom, but especially in science classes, biology and such, geology. When your parent want to is helping you to do the homework. They don't help you like that. They make you in the condition that you yourself you think. And then when you cannot find, you come to them, then you say, go back and think. That's the word I use. Go and think. My older sister, she was always doing that. Go and think. My dad, the same thing. Go think first. Go back and think. Because how do me what understand how the brain work? For me, the brain is like a big storage. So you put everything in the storage. When I say everything is everything that you learn at school. And then what you learn at school during the time they teach, okay, in the classroom. And then after that, when the day of the exam, test exam and whatever it is, you go, you have the exam on your table. Usually in Africa, because I studied also in America, I saw difference. And I remember that sometimes in America, most of the time, I saw at the beginning when we came there, because we saw students who are leaving the exams earlier, like they just did some maybe 30 minutes or something like that. You see already people leaving the classroom. So for us, the African students, we were like, wow, they're extremely good because we couldn't leave the classroom without keep thinking. That's what we were taught since high school. So for us, we were like, wow, they are very good. But in fact, we found out later that not that much because those who are doing that didn't take time to really make the brain work because the brain works in different way for some people. Some people, it's like, sorry for me, it just is my humble understanding of things. It's like the computer. You turn on the computer, now it's gonna put all the data together. Take time for the data to gather together. Now, after that, you have people who have visual memories because when they go to school and doing the classroom, they have visual memory. There are those who have memory of because they heard often the word and then it's that. So all this must work together as the data are coming together. And now you have to apply it cannot take something fast to do. So for us, usually African students in the classroom, when we were in America, okay, we sit and we say, because I don't know if you have heard sometimes, if it happened to you sometimes, when sometimes you leave the classroom, you say, oh, I thought about it. I knew I had the answer because the brain goes. So in Africa, it was mandatory that you don't leave the classroom in 30 minutes or 40 minutes. It wasn't possible. You have to sit because the brain work and manage everything. So for us, when we saw someone leaving earlier, for us, the person was a genius. When in fact, the person didn't want to force that much, especially in science classes, like in mathematics, you couldn't understand that someone will leave the classroom that fast. Because for us, we have to sit and stay until usually the end of the hour. That's why in our classroom, you had more students, African students, staying in the classroom longer. And the other students, they were already gone. Most of them were gone out of our classroom. Sometimes, I don't know if it's bad for other people, but for us, African, I talk as an African person, it was the way we are. We were taught to stay and think until, because the brain is still working and then the memory comes back to you and then you start applying everything that you have studied in the week, for example, or during the weeks you study those chapters. So living like that, it was like, for those who study, it would feel like, why should I leave? Because I know that I know. So artificial intelligence, we make it even worse. Because what it means that easy. But it's extremely that I mean, I don't know how to feel because I think there is a well-known scientist, I think his name is Stephen Hawking. He really warned people about using artificial intelligence. I don't know. I think it was British. It was British, I think. I don't He was on the wheelchair and he warned people to use artificial intelligence. You know,